Hey there, good afternoon. Welcome into my kitchen. It's digitally fit and fabulous. Back in the kitchen, just gonna bring you in for this quick recipe. It's a Cajun salmon lasagna roll-up recipe. There's always somebody you gotta find a recipe for you to try and be like, oh, can you make this? Or bet you can't make that is what they try to do to me. And so, of course, my daughter came up with that and she showed me the recipe. She sent me the recipe. So I got 2 pieces of salmon and seasoned it with some Cajun seasoning, which I used this Cajun step seasoning, and I seasoned that. And then I cut up onions, bell pepper. If you have sun-dried tomatoes, you can put sun-dried tomatoes in it, but I'm not. I got sauteed all of that together. What I'm going to do is implement some just regular canned tomatoes. Of course, this is going to have like a white sauce because it's Cajun, so we're doing like a roll of white sauce with Parmesan in it and a couple of, well, I'll just do like a 3 blend cheese, but you could really do whatever you want it to. So we got the salmon, as you can see, done. Spinach will go in it. So we got the vegetables sauteed. So the next thing we want to do is build the sauce to it. So I have my heavy cream out. And so what I'm going to do is get my heavy cream going in the pan. And then we'll get our Parmesan cheese in. And we'll get our sauce to go in so that we can get that all nice. And I just simply took store help today. Didn't try to do anything special when it came to Parmesan cheese. Just, again, using store help on this. Get Parmesan cheese in there. And then we're going to go in with, obviously, the usual suspects. We've got garlic powder. So we're going with garlic powder. And we're going to go in with onion powder. And of course, about a tablespoon on each. Excuse the extra television because that's my husband back there. He has his television. I'm going to throw in some 14 spice Medea seasoning into the sauce. And then last but not least, we'll put a bit of crushed red pepper into the sauce because around this part they like spicy. Spicy is what they like. So spicy is what we do. So we're gonna go ahead and mix that up. And let that kind of just begin to heat, thicken. May end up adding in more cream because I want to make sure that I have enough sauce for the roll-ups because we're going to have sauce to put in the bottom of the pan as well as we're taking and putting it in the bottom of the pan, and then we'll have some to put on the top of it. Just gonna go ahead and I think, like I said, I'm gonna add just a bit more cream. Along with another 1/4 cup, because this was like probably half of a carton, I'd say, that I had left over. Just turn down and I want it to get out of control. And so I'm turning this on a low heat. Gotta add some black pepper to it. This one. Black pepper in there. And a little bit of Italian seasoning. getting this mixed up, we're gonna go ahead and get a fork, and we're gonna take the salmon, and we're just gonna kind of flake that, and it flakes very easily. Let's take your fork in there and flake it. And this would even be good with shrimp. It would be good with crab meat. This, you know, so it's very versatile. You know, if my daughter thought about it, she'd have been like, oh, throw some shrimp in there too. But she's a full, let me get the full experience of meat. But as you can see, it's just flaking up very nicely, you know. And I didn't try to overcook the salmon, because for some reason people want to cook salmon to death. And this was a skinless salmon too, guys. Salmon only needs to cook, if you cook it in an air fryer, for approximately 8 minutes. By the time you take it out, let it set, carry over cooking, then it's ready to go and stuff. But this I did on top of the stove. And like I said, we just went ahead and got that done. And I didn't want to completely just cook it. So there you have the salmon all flaked. I didn't just want to cook it to death or too much, because it's going to cook more in the oven. So this is thickening. I've already got it on a low heat. I'm just going to go in and add some cheese, more cheese. I'm going to add a triple blend cheese to it. You could add mozzarella cheese, cheddar cheese, whatever cheese you want. Whatever you're fancying, that's what you add in there. Your house, your kitchen, your rules. Do how you want to do. This is just what I'm doing. Usually, you know, I go ahead and trade my cheese, but I'm going to take a little help from the grocery store. So we're going to go ahead and get that in. I'm probably going to add just a bit more of cream in, because I don't want all my sauce to just be where it just cooks away. I want to have enough sauce on the bottom of the pan, as well as cover the dish. So just add a little bit more cream in here. What I'm going to do is, once I get this incorporated in here, I'm going to go ahead and turn off the heat here. When I turn it off, move it out of the heat, and then I'm going to add a little bit of salt in it. I don't want to do too much salt, just for the simple reason of the fact that we have the Cajun seasoning. We don't want it to end up where it's over, you know, salty. So just keeping that in mind. Mix that up in there. And then what I'm going to do next is get a frying pan out so that I can mix up the filling part of it and get it done. So we'll get out another skillet, let that heat up, and get out the pan that we'll use to bake it in. So what I'm going to do is, with this pan, I'll go ahead and turn the heat up a bit, and we're going to go ahead and get the salmon in there, because I want to incorporate everything back together. So we get the salmon in there, and we're going to put in our vegetables. Out. Then we're going to get our tomatoes in. I'm really going to use this whole can. I can save this for something else. Next, I'm going to add in some spinach, and this is baby spinach that I chopped. Got that added in. Now we'll incorporate all that together. get that mixed up. And I will just add just a touch of fresh red to the mixture, and then we'll call it good. All that good. And we'll go ahead and we'll get this mixed up and we'll be right back. Okay guys, so I'm back. I almost forgot to turn on the camera. So what I've done is I put sauce in the bottom of the pan, and here you see I already got one lasagna roll up in there. So you just simply take your lasagna, you need to lay it out, put the filling on. After you put the filling on, you add cheese. You can either add cheese or you could add more sauce, and you could put it in, some of the sauce in there. But I'm just simply putting cheese in the middle and doing it that way. And then I'm rolling that up in there, of course, any extra filling, putting it back. And then we're just gonna repeat that with the lasagna noodles. We're gonna get our noodles laid out just like that, and then you want to get your filling in your noodle, and you just obviously go down the noodle itself with your filling, just filling it in, spreading it out. And remember, like I said, you didn't have to add the canned tomatoes in. You could have easily done sun-dried tomato. I didn't have any. Wasn't gonna just, you know, go get some just because. So we're just doing this here and adding the canned tomato, which is gonna work in the same way. Nothing, you know, different. It works in the same way. So we go ahead and we're gonna come in. Again, I almost forgot what my step was. Come in and add some of your cheese on the lasagna roll up. Go down with it. And you just go ahead and you start the process of rolling. As you roll, your ingredients are tending to push to the end. So what I did this time is I tried to not fill it up too much so that I wouldn't lose a lot of filling out, because again, as you're rolling your lasagna roll up, it's pushing your filling towards the end. So you don't want to, you know, if you push it out fine, you know what to do, just like you saw me do. Add it back to your skillet, because we leave nothing, you know, to waste here. So you just add it back to the skillet and continue on. So get my next noodles out, do the same thing. And remember, when you're boiling the noodles, you want to do them till al dente. You don't want to do them and then have them where they're overcooked, because again, they're going in the oven to cook for about 20 minutes. So you don't want to just put them in there and overcook them and then just have mushy noodles. You want to make sure that you have them so that they're not mushy. Oops. Put that back here. And again, this is just something different again. Cajun salmon lasagna roll-ups. And that worked out just about right, because you saw that I had 2 fillets to begin with. So it's going to end up yielding, it looks to be 6 of the portion of roll-ups, the Cajun pasta roll-ups. And it's going to yield 6, which is a good, you know, bit, because the filling is hefty. It's not, you know, chinky or chintzy. It's very healthy. And when I say healthy, I mean portion size. Let's put it in there and go on to the next one. So I pull it up. Perfectly. Get it in here, showing you how it's looking right now. Don't those look good? And that's even before we get any type of topping on them. So, let's see. I may be able to put like maybe a half of one in here on the end. Let's see. First of all, excess filling. And remember, you can make this your own by simply, if you wanted to add, like I said, shrimp, or you wanted to add crab, you can do that. You know, make it your own. It doesn't have to be salmon. If you don't like salmon, definitely, you know, do something different. Yeah, I think I got enough to make this little half one, and that'll go on the end. May even be able to make the other half. I don't know. Oh no, I won't say that. Since I'm trying to get, so the filling portion was very well, just right. So then we're going in with the cheese. Roll this up. And this piece here is going to go on the end. That's perfect. That is perfect. So the leftover noodles I will definitely use. So right now, what we'll do is take our sauce. Get that sauce, and now we're going to go on the top. And personally, whenever I'm making spaghetti, lasagna, whatever it is, I like for it to be saucy. I don't want it to be dry. So you want to just put your sauce over. Make sure that it cascades down over. Sorry about my pan being in your face. Didn't think about how close I had the camera until just then when I saw it. So we're getting that. I'm gonna let you guys see where it's at, because obviously we're gonna cover it with some foil, with that noodle there. So there's the dish covered in the sauce. Now what we're gonna do, of course, we're gonna add more Parmesan cheese across the top. Get in and just go across with more Parmesan cheese. We're going to go ahead and go in with the triple blend. And that's the oven. I had it preheating to 375. All right. So here we go. We're going to cover with foil, and we're going to get it into the oven. Let me grab the foil. So we got our foil, always have the shiny side up because it reacts. If you turn it face down onto your food, it reacts to the food, and that's where you see like it's heating through the foil. So we're gonna put this in a preheated 375 degree oven, and we're gonna let it go for 25 minutes. And then we'll come back and see the finished product. And hey guys, we're back. Here's the finished product of the Cajun salmon lasagna roll-up dish. So thanks for joining me. Remember to like, subscribe, and share. This is Digitally Fit and Fabulous. See you next time.